It looks calm outside, almost too calm, the kind of calm that makes you think winter is finally over, but the moment you step out, reality hits instantly. Across central Canada today, this is not spring, not even close. This is winter quietly holding its ground, and in cities like Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City, the story is not about storms or heavy snowfall, it's about something more subtle, but just as powerful. A deep, persistent cold that refuses to leave even as the calendar says spring has already begun. Let's start in Toronto, because this is where that contrast is most noticeable. The skies are clear, almost peaceful, the kind of morning that looks perfect from inside. But step outside and you are immediately met with a temperature sitting around -5 degrees. There is no wind howling, no snow falling, nothing dramatic happening, and yet the cold feels steady, quiet, and constant. It's the kind of cold that doesn't demand your attention all at once, but slowly settles in, making its presence known with every breath you take. Streets look normal, traffic moves as usual, but everyone outside is bundled up, moving quickly, shoulders slightly tense, as if trying to minimize the time spent in that lingering chill. Now as we move east toward Ottawa and Montreal, that cold tightens its grip just a little more. Temperatures drop closer to -9 degrees, and suddenly the environment starts to feel heavier. The roads remain dry, the skies stay clear, and at first glance, you might think conditions are improving compared to a typical winter storm. But in reality, this kind of cold creates its own challenges. It slows everything down. People walk faster, but speak less. Breath becomes visible in the air, and even short moments outside feel longer than they should. There is a rhythm to it, a quiet adaptation that people in these cities know well, but there is also a sense that something is off, because this is the time of year when things are supposed to start changing. And that's really the story across central Canada right now. This is not about extreme weather in the traditional sense. This is about timing. Late March is when people expect transition, when winter begins to loosen its grip and signs of spring slowly appear. But instead, what we are seeing is a pattern that feels stuck. A cold air mass has settled over the region, and it's holding temperatures below normal, creating conditions that feel more like midwinter than early spring. And that disconnect is something you can feel not just in the temperature, but in the mood, in the way people react to the weather, in the quiet anticipation that hasn't yet been met. Then there is Quebec City, where the cold reaches its most intense point in this region today. Temperatures around -13 degrees bring a sharper, more biting feel to the air. This is not just uncomfortable, this is the kind of cold that demands attention. Every breath feels crisp, almost sharp, and any exposed skin reacts immediately. The city itself, known for its historic charm, looks stunning under clear skies, sunlight reflecting off snow-covered surfaces, creating a picture-perfect scene. But that beauty comes with a cost. The cold defines the experience. Walking through those streets is not just about enjoying the view, it's about enduring the temperature. What makes today particularly interesting is how deceptive it all looks. There are no storm systems dominating the forecast, no heavy snowfall disrupting daily life, no major warnings grabbing headlines. On paper, it seems like a quiet weather day. But in reality, this is a different kind of winter impact. This is the steady, persistent cold that shapes behavior in subtle ways. It affects how long people stay outside, how they plan their day, how they dress, and even how they think about the season itself. Because mentally, many people have already moved on. Spring has started, at least according to the calendar, and with that comes expectation. Warmer days, melting snow, a gradual shift in atmosphere. But today, across central Canada, that shift feels delayed. It feels like the season is paused, caught somewhere between winter and spring, unable to fully commit to either one. And that creates a unique kind of fatigue. Not the kind that comes from dealing with a major storm, but the kind that builds slowly, day after day, when conditions don't change the way you expect them to. You can see it in small moments, people checking their weather apps more often, looking for signs of warming that haven't arrived yet, conversations turning toward when spring will finally show up. A subtle frustration mixed with patience, because everyone knows this is temporary, but no one is quite sure how long it will last. And that uncertainty becomes part of the story. At the same time, there is something almost quiet and reflective about this kind of weather. The clear skies over Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City create moments of real beauty, especially during sunrise and sunset. The light reflects off remaining snow and ice, creating a soft glow that contrasts with the cold air. There is a stillness to it, a calm that you don't get during storms. And for some, that calm is something to appreciate, a reminder that winter, even at its end, still has something to offer. But the bigger picture remains unchanged. This cold pattern is still in control, and it's not going anywhere immediately. The temperatures we are seeing today, -5 in Toronto, -9 in Ottawa and Montreal, and -13 in Quebec City, all point to a continuation of winter-like conditions, at least for now. There is no dramatic shift happening today, no sudden warm-up that changes everything overnight. Instead, this is a slow process, a waiting game where the transition to spring will come, but not as quickly as many would hope. So, as the day continues, life moves on under these clear but cold skies. Morning commutes begin with frost on windshields and that familiar burst of cold air as doors open. Afternoon activities are shorter, more deliberate, people choosing to stay indoors just a little longer, and as evening arrives, temperatures drop again, reinforcing the idea that winter is still very much present. This is not a headline-grabbing storm, but it is a powerful reminder of how weather can shape experience in quieter ways. It's not always about extremes. Sometimes it's the persistence, the consistency of conditions like these that have the biggest impact. And right now, across central Canada, that impact is being felt through this steady, unyielding cold that continues to hold its ground, even as spring waits just beyond the horizon.